What is going on, everybody? My name is John Guerra, and this is the Guerra and Dawn Show. Before we get started, I want to address some speculation, some rumors going around. There's a circulating video that we're about to watch right now. So let's go ahead and watch this video. Oh, there we go.
Look at this, I can see that it's the closest up is rule number 4, right? Because it kind of looks the same. No?
So basically what you see there, folks, is me answering an engineering question and getting a shirt because of it, you know? And some people thought that, oh, he's an engineering major. Oh, look at this guy, engineering, big time. People got confused. They started sending me some questions, their homework. They're like, hey, can you help me with this? Let's get the record straight, guys. I am not an engineering major, nor will I ever be close to it. Math is not what I do. You could put an algebra question in front of a chimpanzee and it would have a way better chance of answering it than me. So that's all I have to say about that. I just wanted to address that before people got too many, they got the wrong idea. So let's go ahead. Let's get straight into the episode, guys.
Can't go on, I can't go on like this, just dwelling on it.
Like this, like
Used to be, I can fix these halls and patch these walls, but there's no patching.
Let's get straight into the episode, guys.
I need a haircut, man. My hair is getting too long, and it's like, I don't like when this hair starts coming out like that. I like it when it's shorter. My cousin's getting married Thursday, so I had to get one either way. Kind of nervous about it. I have a weird thing I do where whenever I'm doing something for the first time, or like I'm meeting up with somebody to go like somewhere to an event or something, I just text them like, oh, I'm so nervous. A lot of times I'm not really nervous, but what I do it for some reason. I'm like, hey, I'm so nervous. Gosh, I'm so nervous. But it's like my way of, in my head, I guess, easing the tension or like easing expectations to where like they're like, oh, well, he's a little nervous. He's not going to be the most talkative person. Because I sometimes I can get very kind of quiet going into situations with people. I don't know why. Like, I don't know why it's weird, but I've done that for a while where I just text people, oh, I'm so nervous. And it's like my way of like easing the tension for what's going to happen. Especially if it's like more of a serious thing. I could do that sometimes. I'd be like, oh, I'm so nervous. But I'm not really. Did I just roll my eyes when I did that? I don't know. But today's episode, we are talking about failure. We're talking about failure. It's a scary thing. And we're going to be talking about some people opened up to me about their failures for this episode. I'm going to be sharing it with y'all a little bit. We're not going to be name dropping anyone, but I'm going to be throwing them out there. But I feel like for me to do that for other people, to throw out other people's failures, I got to open up myself, right? I got to throw my stuff out there. So I'm going to say it flat. I'm going to throw it out there. You know, I'm going to open up the bag of cookies. So if someone wants one, they could grab one here. Freshman year of college, I failed art twice. There it is. There it is. The culture of art. I failed it twice. I was like the history of art. I believe so. We were going back in history and we had to like write essays about like certain pieces of art and how they like continue to impact the world today. But it was like different versions of art. So every single one was a different version. I failed that class twice. I was always really bad with deadlines. Like I would just forget that it was due this day. So I did some of the work, but I would just forget to turn it in. And one time, the first time I failed the class, it was the very end. It was like it was our final exam. It was like a big old essay. And usually a lot of things in college are due on Sundays at 11:59 p.m. So right at midnight, they're due. This was due at 11:59 a.m. Middle of the day, and I was at like some party for my work. I worked at Chick-fil-A at the time. We had like some Christmas party, and I ended up missing it. And I just saw that it turned in. I was like, your grade for your final exam has been updated. And I was like, what? And I failed. I signed up again, and they have like a rule in certain classes where if you miss the first assignment or like the first two assignments, you're kicked out the class. I missed both of them. Kicked me out the class. So yeah, I failed art twice. It's always a fun thing to talk about. You know, when it happens, it's kind of embarrassing. I didn't like telling people. I made up stories, so I didn't have to tell the truth. But after a while, it's like you just open up about it. Because it was a hard time. Yeah, I was taking college real good. I struggled a lot my freshman year of college. It was just a really hard time for me. And I know it's a hard time for some people too. And it's just like the transition. You start focusing on other things, other people get involved in your life. And it's like your first time by yourself and you're just trying to like balance everything out. And sometimes your mind doesn't prioritize the things that you should be prioritizing at the time. Prioritizing at the time. Sorry, that's embarrassing. But now I think it's time we get into this. Some people, you know, I didn't ask my social media this time, but there's just certain people where they shared it with me. I was like, hey, let me be open about this. I asked them like some people I was like, hey, share you if you want to share it with me, you can, and I'll discuss it. I'm not gonna name drop anyone. But we're gonna get into these now. Here we go. I've committed so much to school that I feel like I'm not even a human being and have no clue who I am. I've realized I've lost all other aspects of my life by pursuing my education so strongly and giving it all to my career. Wow. I feel like that's something a lot of us could feel at times, and I feel that every now and then, especially in the past, is you catch yourself. And sometimes, you catch yourself because you're thinking so much about the future, right? That's what we're all thinking about. We think about the future, and we forget that some people aren't going to be a part of our future. And that's a hard pill to swallow. We forget that our parents are not going to be exactly a part of our full future. Some of our family members, some of our friends at the time, our pets, all these other things, they have a life too. They have their own eyes. They see the world the same way we do. And sometimes we get so caught up in what we're doing. Like, for instance, sometimes I schedule all these things. I'm trying to get my third internship right now. I have 2 jobs. I have school. And it's like, I'm trying to schedule all the things out. And then I forget sometimes. Sometimes I just get so caught up in trying to build a bigger future for myself that I forget what I have now. And, that's why I try to make certain times where it's like, hey, I have a little bit of time right here. Why not be with my parents, right? Why not be with my friends? I have a rule with myself. Some people don't agree with it. And it's like, whenever, if I'm available, if I am available, I'm home available. And one of my friends is like, hey, you want to do something or you want to go do this? I always say yes. Because it's the way of like, I'm giving that time to them. Because everyone in my life has done a lot of things for me. Even if you don't feel like they do, just certain moments, they give you moments in time. And it's like when you're so focused on one thing specifically and you're pursuing it so hard, you're going to lose a lot of time of other things around you. And yes, that's part of the sacrifice, but there's still certain moments that you can implement in there and have that with them. But yeah, it's a hard thing to think about. And I'm sorry that you're at that point right now where you feel like you've really lost it all. Like you just lost your mind in all of it. Yeah, I just hope that things get better. Hope that you're able to see the certain moments with other people and you're able to make some time for them. Now that you've caught it, because the biggest worry is that you're not going to catch yourself, right? I always tell people, some people tell me that, oh, I messed up, man. I ruined my life. And they're really young. They're like, I ruined my life. I messed up. And I said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, because you realized that you were making mistakes. A lot of times we don't realize it, right? We we are in our own heads and we're telling ourselves what we want to hear, and we have people around us telling us what we want to hear. It's hard to catch yourself making mistakes. Especially in the modern world, people don't want to hear what's wrong with them. They don't want to hear it. Everyone wants to be everyone wants what they believe to be agreed upon from everyone, and they want to surround themselves with people who aren't going to tell them no. And I believe you should always have people around you who are going to tell you the truth. Even if you don't want to hear it. A lot of times we don't want to hear the truth, right? And a lot of times we actually know the truth. I feel like whenever we're doing stuff, we know either it's right or wrong for us. We know if we should be doing it. But we convince ourselves, and we can kind of be delusional within ourselves. And it's not bad. It's not wrong to be delusional. But in that form of it, it can hurt us and it can hurt other people around us. So yeah. I went on a little bit of a rant right there, but I really do hope that now that you call yourself, right, you call yourself that you're able to make some time. During the summer, maybe you could spend some more time with your family, friends, and just have some moments. Yeah. Let's go to the next one, shall we? I dropped out of school because I keep feeling like I wasn't good enough to be there. I barely graduated high school and just felt like pursuing college was more of a dream than a reality for me. But I still tried and I failed. Well, see, here's the thing is that you took a leap of faith, right? Because that's what all this is. Whenever we go for something different, whenever we risk something, we're taking a leap of faith because we believe that something better could happen with that, right? There's no guarantee. There's no guarantee with anything. I wouldn't say you failed. I wouldn't say you failed because in that aspect, we all fail all the time. You know, we all find moments in time where we got to take a step back. And maybe that's what that was for you, was a step back. Because I imagine you didn't say your age, but I imagine you're not too old. You know, you see all your friends, and either way, it's like I have some friends who are telling me that their lives are over, that they took the wrong path. They're 22, they're 21, 22, 20. And it's like, yes, you are 21, 22, and 20. But at the same time, you're barely 21. You're barely 22, right? Like, think about the how much of your life you have left, and think about how much of your life you have now. And you want to say you ruined your life already. Because what, you dropped out of college? That's 4 years of your life if you're getting a bachelor's. You can go back. And if you believe that's the right way to take it, then go back. Maybe you tried to go for too hard of a university or too hard of a major, something you didn't actually want to do. Think about it. Reflect. What do you actually want to do? What is going to keep you working hard? Because sometimes we go for stuff that we have no interest in, but we feel like we have to do it. And I feel like when you're going for a college route, something you're doing the rest of your life, it has to be something you have some kind of desire for. Or else it's just, you're going to run into a wall. And it's going to be tough. So I always believe you should do something you want to do. It should be something that you feel is right for you, that you have a desire to be better at, and that you have a desire to make that that organization or that path, that career better than you found it. So yeah, if that's college for you, then well, it's not over. Game's not over just because you failed out. A lot of people fell out. You know, I almost failed out. So it's like you can always find a way back. If the desire is there and you want it, you can find a way back. And I think that you gotta commit to it. You know, I believe in you. I hope you believe in yourself. I'm sure there's other people around you who believe in you. So, think about it, reflect, take some time, think about what you really want to do. And all I gotta say is commit to it. If it's really what you want to do, commit to it, and you'll find a way. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. I'm gonna take a quick second and get some coffee. Take a quick second. Every now and then I like doing that, taking a quick little second, and I just look around. It's kind of like me having a little moment in time. Sometimes we're moving too fast. We're doing all this stuff and we forget to just kind of take that deep breath and look around and just enjoy that we're alive. And that's what that was for me. A little sip of coffee was just looking around, enjoying that I was alive. But yeah. Now we're going to we're going to move on a little bit. We are going to talk about some of the biggest failing moments in history. I got one for y'all right here. I don't know if y'all know about this one. This one's called the Napoleon Rabbit Attack. Let me read this off to y'all. After signing a peace treaty, Napoleon requested a rabbit hunt his staff gathered thousands of domesticated rabbits, but when released, the rabbits, expecting to be fed, mistook Napoleon for a giant treat bringer and swarmed him, forcing the emperor to retreat to his carriage. Imagine that. Signing a peace treaty, and you're like, dang, I just lost the war. Let me go get some rabbits. Let me go enjoy some time with the rabbits. And they think that you're a big old food server. That must have been a real low for him. I heard Napoleon wasn't even short. I heard they just made him seem short in the history books to degrade him. I don't know if that's true. Let's see. I'll put something up to see if that's true on one of these sites. But that one's in 1807. So even in 1807, there was people messing up like that, where it's like, dang, how did I manage to mess up? Let's move forward. The Dancer's Plague of 1518. 1518. Wow. While not a traditional screw-up, the incident was a surreal failure of common sense. Let's see how common sense this one is. A woman began to dance, and over a month, hundreds joined her for days on end, some dying of exhaustion, because it was thought that dancing would cure them. I always find it very fascinating, the fact that, like, when we get sick, we have all this medication and stuff, and we can, like, relax on a bed and kind of just, like, recover. And I was like, dang, if I were to be sick like this years and years ago, I would have died. So you're thinking about a lot of these people, what are the chances of them surviving this plague? They're sick, right? And in their mind, what they believe, their theory is that if I start dancing with all these groups of people, it's going to cure me. Which, I mean, I'm sure when the first person started dancing, people thought it was going to cure a lot of things. It was, when you're swinging your hips, things get wild. But, man, imagine that there's thousands of people. Well, hundreds joined. And everyone's just dancing around, and then you just see, that's the definition of dance you can't, to the bodies hit the floor. Because people just started dying. Everyone was just dancing real hard and then just started dying off. I don't think that's a failure. You know what? I think that's going out with a bang. I think that's going out believing in something. And I respect that. Going forward. Francis Bacon's frozen chicken. 1626. These were all a long time ago, and people were still messing up, right? We mess up. We're human beings. We're going to mess up. So I just want y'all to remember that. Philosopher Francis Bacon was determined to prove that stuffing a chicken with snow would preserve it. He stood out in the freezing cold to stuff the chicken, caught pneumonia, and died shortly after, having proved only that cold weather is bad for health. I don't see how this is a failure because he proved something. He proved something. I feel like that's what happens. We try to prove one thing, we prove something else. I think they're just trying to degrade him in this one. That's what I believe. Stuffing a chicken with snow would preserve it. So then why did he have to be out there in the snow? Why couldn't he just bring some snow with him? Well, I guess that it would melt, but I don't know. I think it was just poor execution on that. He tried to take a chicken. He probably carried a chicken into the snow, stuffed it with snow, and he died of pneumonia. He gave it his all, And I feel like when people work really hard and they mess up, and all we recognize them for is the mess up. But that's how it is, right? That's how it is. Man. I consider him a success for that moment. That's all I'm going to say about that, as I think that was a good moment for him. I'm on his side for that. But anyways, guys, that's it for today. It was a quick little episode, short and sweet. Just wanted to come talk about failure for a little bit. Thursday, we should be back to an interview, I believe. We should be, hopefully. But it was fun talking to y'all again with a solo episode, and I will see y'all next time. Later.